Alright TM Nation, these are the final ZE8000 true wireless earbuds, and before I got my hands on a pair about a month ago, I had my eyes on them for a while because although there aren't many reviews on them out there at the moment, most of the people that I've seen who have tried out the 8K sound say it's legit and not just a gimmick. In addition, these are compatible with the Final Connect app to customize your sound and other functions. They are compatible with aptX and aptX Adaptive. They do have beamforming mics for clear voice calls, active noise cancellation, and very impressive sound quality too. In short, the ZE8000 earbuds bring a lot to the table and are aimed at more serious audiophile grade users, so you want to make sure you watch the full video because I'll cover the good and the not so good to allow you guys to make a more informed buying decision. Starting with the unboxing, you get a premium feel from the beginning that reminds you guys that these are a flagship pair of earbuds. Inside, you'll get your user manual and other documentation, a stick to replace the dust filters and replacement dust filters, a USB Type-C cable to charge the case, different sized ear tips so you can swap them out if you need to get the best fit, and the case along with the earbuds. Of course. The case design is okay in my opinion. I do like the fact that the flat finish does not attract fingerprints like a shiny finish, but there really isn't too much going on besides the battery indicator lights in the front and your USB Type-C charging port in the back. The form factor is on the larger side since the earbuds themselves are pretty big, but it should fit in a normal sized pocket without bulging out too much. It does feel substantial in the hands, like it will withstand some wear and tear, but it doesn't support wireless charging, which is a bummer. It will provide up to 15 hours of use with the earbuds, which certainly is not record breaking, and on a single charge with the earbuds you can expect to get about 5, which I would say is below average in comparison to other high-end true wireless earbuds, but I will speak more about this a little bit later on in this video because there is a reason for this number. Moving on to the design of the earbuds, they do have the stems coming down as you can see, and they are quite long. I wouldn't classify them as mini earbuds as they do take up a decent amount of space in the ears, but they have never felt overly large or overly heavy while I was wearing them. I have worn them for 3 to 4 hour listening sessions without any ear fatigue or discomfort, and I also did use them for exercise, and they slid around a bit once I started sweating because they don't have any ear hooks or wings to keep them in place, but it certainly was not as bad as I was expecting. Now, I did have to reposition them a few times during my 30-minute jump rope session, but they never completely fell out of my ears like what I have gotten with some other earbuds that have a similar design. The IPX4 water resistance rating also kept them from malfunctioning on me while they were wet, so if that's a concern for you, you should be good with getting these wet as long as you aren't submerging them into any liquids. These do use touch controls, which have been accurate for me so far, and you do get full playback controls with them, so you can track forward, track back, adjust your volume, summon your voice assistant, and control your calls too. You don't have the option to customize them in the app unfortunately, but you do have the ability to see the charge left on the earbuds, update the firmware when applicable, create your own custom EQ, access the user manual on the go, and select your ANC and transparency mode settings. I do want to mention that the equalizer settings here have a pro mode, which allows users to make adjustments without causing degradation of the sound quality. In short, they set parameters that will give you the sound that you're looking for without pushing them so much that the sound becomes distorted. As I mentioned earlier, these do use beamforming mics to help focus on your speech and reduce some of the noise going on around you. I have provided a couple of samples so that you guys can judge for yourselves. Let's take a listen. Alright guys, so right now I have the earbuds paired to my iPhone 14 Pro. As you can see, the audio that you're hearing is coming directly from the microphones on them. And I'm not going to do any type of editing to this sample, so this should give you a pretty good idea of how these will perform in a relatively quiet environment. And now I have some simulated background noise playing in the background. This part of the test is aimed at seeing how well the microphones on these earbuds can focus on my speech while rejecting some of that ambient noise. And what I'll go ahead and do is be quiet for just a moment so that you guys can judge how loud the noise is. And now I'll go ahead and start talking again. So again, this should give you guys a pretty good idea of how well these will perform in a relatively loud environment. For Bluetooth connection, these use 5.2 and they do also support dual connect, so you can use one earbud and leave the other in the case if you'd like to. And I haven't experienced any issues with any noticeable latency watching YouTube videos on my Galaxy Z Fold 4 or my iPhone 14 Pro. I will say that they don't have a built-in gaming mode, so they may not be the best for a hardcore mobile gamer, but I was able to play Call of Duty Mobile without feeling like there was a huge delay. Speaking on the ANC performance, these did impress me, although it wasn't what I was expecting from a flagship pair of earbuds of this caliber. Walking outside while wearing them, I'd say that they probably reduced about 60% of the sounds going on around me to a level that they were barely audible, but I was able to still hear things such as louder vehicles passing by me, screams and yelling, and landscapers mowing the lawns. There is a wind reduction mode that you can select inside of the app, but I really could not tell a difference in between the two because the normal mode and the wind reduction mode seem to let in more noise than I would have liked. But normal sounds around my house, such as the HVAC system running, the shower running, and lower to medium levels of talking are filtered out by these earbuds for the most part. The transparency mode did perform well during my testing. It did not sound robotic or simulated like what I get with some other earbuds, and these do have two different modes, one that focuses on amplifying your ambient noise in general and the other focuses on speech. Now getting into the sound quality, guys, I do first want to mention that they use a Class AB amplifier, which is not what you get with most true wireless earbuds due to the amount of power that it consumes and the impact that it has on battery life. With these, it does make sense to use an AB amplifier because they do have the 8K upsampling, and I have to say that all of the components that they use in these earbuds come together to create an extremely clean sound overall. I don't have a Snapdragon sound compatible device, so I couldn't try that, but using them with the aptX codec, they were buttery smooth and there was no noticeable distortion with them regardless of how loud I set them. Now I did end up creating my own EQ from scratch because the stock EQ did sound good and it probably will be more than adequate for most people, but it definitely didn't have that punchy bass response that I was looking for. So I tuned mine to be a little bit heavier on the highs, I tweaked the mids a bit, and I cranked up the bass to provide the best sound for the types of music that I listen to, which are mainly hip hop and R&B. And with them tuned this way, the detail is really good. I can hear those background instruments and vocals that are typically drowned out with other respectable earbuds, and the bass response is impressive too. Now I will say that the bass is more refined and not the deep or rattling bass that some bass heads may be looking for, but I found it to be very clean like I said, and I never felt like it was lacking, but again, it definitely is not over the top. These also do get more than loud enough for my personal liking. I rarely feel the need to max them out in terms of the volume. I can usually set them between 50 and 75% and be satisfied. Now with all of that out of the way, one thing that we do have to address is the price of these earbuds. Everywhere I've seen them on sale, they're priced at $350, which I understand is gonna cause a lot of people to look away from them almost instantly. As I mentioned earlier, these are gonna be for a much smaller demographic that wants audiophile grade sound without the wires and folks that will utilize the higher definition codecs. They don't have excellent battery life, wireless charging with the case, great ANC or transparency performance, but the sound quality is some of the best that I've tried in a pair of wireless earbuds. Now would I recommend these to the average earbud user? Definitely not, but I do believe there is a market for them for those users out there that want to take advantage of the higher definition sound that they provide. Before you get on out of here, if you rock with the channel and your boy Tech Mo, hit that subscribe button and knock that notification bell out so you won't miss any of my uploads. Welcome to TM Nation. Peace.